everybody. Welcome to week 4 of your Featherstone Farm Winter CSA. We hope everyone has had a great Thanksgiving and is ready to eat a bunch more Featherstone veggies in the upcoming week. I'm going to give you a taste for what you might find in your box. First thing, we have a variety of different winter squash. The options this week were delicata, acorn, and butternuts. So of these three, the butternuts are going to store the longest. This might store all winter, so I would put that one aside if you don't have a recipe in mind, or try Jack's recipe for freezing those for the summer. The acorns and the delicata you're going to want to use sooner. These just don't store as long. So you can see the acorns start to turn a little bit orange as they age. It's totally fine, it's natural. They're going to be great, tasty and sweet inside. So just make sure to use these up first. Next on the line, we have the red Napa cabbage, which is one of my favorites. We only grow this for winter CSA because they don't like the heat in the summer. So this is a special treat for winter CSA. You can use this in all sorts of salads, stir fries, any way you might want to use a normal Napa, but this is going to add a lot more color. So it's really nice added into salads with other greens. And this was the featured veggie in the newsletter, so there are lots of fun recipe ideas if you just check your digital newsletter. That's a really fun one, and I believe this is our only week for red Napas, so enjoy those. We have, of course, the Featherstone carrots. This week we have yellow onions. We have a pretty standard yellow potato. There's some really nice big potatoes in there. These make me think of mashed potatoes, but there's many ways you can cook up those potatoes. Another fun one this week, we have bagged apples from Hope Orchard. I was over there with the guys bagging these up yesterday, so we're really excited for another round of fresh apples here before we start pressing the rest of our harvest for juice. So I believe these are a variety called Enterprise, and they still taste really sweet. These should be awesome for just fresh eating this fall. For root vegetables this week, we have gold beets. I think our winter CSA members are pretty familiar with these. Use them how you would any beet, but it's not going to turn your food red. So these are really nice if you don't want to dye your entire meal beet color. These have great flavor. They're super sweet. These are in storage, so I would recommend peeling them. You can, roast them in the oven and then peel them afterwards. Works great, but really love those gold beets. This here is another treat. This is the last of the broccoli for the season. So the guys picked these over a week ago. So I would use these pretty soon this week, but they're still in really good shape. We've got awesome big bunches this week, so that's really exciting. Next in line, we have these beautiful red daikon radishes. These are not super spicy, but they do have a little bite. If you cut this, actually here, let's just slice one for you. You'll see they're really pretty red color on the outside, but then when you cut them open, it's pure white in the middle. And those are really nice, just sliced and eaten raw. Maybe eat it with a little cheese or grate it on top of your salads with your Napa and your greens. So that's a red daikon. We also have, this is most certainly the last tomatoes of the year. We pulled all the plants out of the greenhouse and got it shut down for winter before a lot of the crew left, but we saved what we could for the ripening fruit. So any of those that aren't all the way colored up, as usual, just leave those in your paper bags. They'll ripen on the counter, and enjoy a little taste of summer here as the snow starts flying. And then last on the line here, we have this beautiful red curly kale. This came out of the field, and it may need a little bit of water to perk it up. I think Jack has done a good job explaining in the past. When you get this home, you could just slice the bottoms, put it in a jar of water, or maybe just submerge it in cold water in your sink if you want to liven it up a little bit. But otherwise, you could just rinse it off and throw it right in any cooked dishes. It's going to be sweet and tasty. It went through a few frosts, so that'll be a nice addition of fresh veggies for the table this week. So you'll see a note in your box explaining it did not get warm enough to pick the spinach this week. We're really sad. We went out 3 days in a row hoping that the sun would warm things up enough, but it just didn't work out. So your accounts will be credited for that spinach, and just wanted to call that out and apologize. But other than that, we have a really great lineup here for week number 4, and hope you enjoy.